In this video, we're going to look at compound measures. And the first compound measure we'll look at is speed, distance, and time. Now, the definition of speed is the distance travelled over a period of time. The units of speed are kilometers per hour, miles per hour, meters per second, etc. You can use this triangle to help you remember how to find speed, distance, or time. So if you want to work out speed, then you can cover up the S, and it is equal to distance divided by time. If you want to work out time, cover up the time, and it is distance divided by speed. And finally, if you want to work out the distance, cover up distance, and it will be speed times time. You must memorize the order where those letters go in the triangle for it to be useful. You can pause the video and have a go at example 1 and 2 if you're revising. If not, I will take you through how to do this. A car travels 17.5 kilometers per hour for 4 hours. The 17.5 kilometers per hour is a speed, and the 4 hours is a time. And we want to work out how far it travels, which is a distance. So we write down our formula for distance. Distance, if we look at our triangle, to find distance is speed times time. So we can write down speed times time. Then we do the speed, 17.5 multiplied by the 4. Just a quick check to make sure that our units are matching up. This is per hour and this is hours, so that's absolutely fine. That would be 70 kilometers. Example 2. A car travels 36 kilometers, that's a distance, for 1 hour, 20 minutes, that's a time. We have to work out how fast it goes. We need to find speed. From our triangle, to work out speed, or the definition of speed, is distance divided by time. How far you travel over a given period of time. So speed is distance divided by time. The distance is 36. The time is given in hours and minutes. So I prefer to write that in hours or in minutes. 1 hour and 20 minutes. 20 minutes, if you do 20 minutes, another 20 minutes, and another 20 minutes, 20, 40, 60. 20 minutes is a third of an hour. So you could write that as a fraction as 1 1/3, or as 4/3 of an hour. You could write it as a decimal, but it's not nice because it's 4/3. So here, we could write it as 4/3. I know that's a fraction inside a fraction, but it'll be okay. The calculator can do that, and actually you can do that too. I'll talk about that in a minute. If you put it in your calculator, 36 divided by 4/3, you end up with 27. What if this was non-calculator? Well, it's not going to be for starters because it's an M3 or M4. So, but just so you know, 36, you're dividing by the fraction 4/3. 36 divided by 4/3, that's the same as 36 wholes. And we keep the first, we flip the second, and we can change the sign. Then to multiply those fractions, we can first of all cancel through, divide by 4. 4 is a common factor. And then to multiply fractions, we multiply the numerators together. 9 times 3 is 27. And on the denominator, 1 times 1 is simply 1. So 27 over 1, 27 wholes, which is 27. And that is a speed. So it was kilometers, and that's per hour. Again, if you're revising, you can pause the video and have a go at example 3 and 4. This bit talks about average speed. Average speed is defined as a total distance divided by the total time. So in example 3, a car travels 180 miles in 4 hours and then 20 miles in 1 hour, 30 minutes. To find its average speed, we get the total distance, which is 180 plus 20, and we divide that by the total time, which is 4 plus an hour and a half. We can write, sorry, an hour and 30 minutes, we can write as an hour and a half, or 1.5. We just don't write it as 1.3 because that's not an hour and a half. The calculator again will do everything for you. That's 200 divided by 5.5. And that is 36.36 to 2 dp. That's 4/11, but it's probably best just to leave it as 2 dp. So 36.36 miles per hour. Number 4, we have to convert from meters per second into kilometers per hour. If you travel 15 meters every second, then in 1 minute, you would travel 15 times 60 meters per minute. That works out to be 900 meters every minute. Why did I do that? Well, I want to get to hours eventually, so I'm going to go from seconds to minutes, and then there's 60 minutes in an hour. So in 1 hour, you would travel 60 times 900 meters per hour. And that's 54,000, 54,000 meters per hour. Quite a big number, but we're going to write it in kilometers per hour, so we can change the meters now into kilometers. And that would be divided by 1,000, so 54 kilometers per hour. There's different ways to do that. You can do it in a quicker way, but I like to break it up into small bits that are manageable. Question 5, we're going in the opposite direction. We're going from kilometers per hour to meters per second. I would prefer to change the kilometers to meters first in this question because it makes the number bigger, and then it'll be easier to divide when we go from hours to seconds. So if it does 25 kilometers in an hour, that is 25,000 meters in 1 hour. And then that's kilometers to meters done. If it's doing that in 1 hour, I have to divide that by 60 to get how many meters it would do in a minute. Doesn't work out that nice. I'll just rate it as 416 2/3 meters per minute. It does that in a minute, which is 60 seconds. So in 1 second, we divide that number by 60 to get how many meters it does per second. That again is not a nice number. 6.94 meters per second to 2 dp. The next compound measure we'll look at is density. Density is how heavy an object is for its size, or its mass per unit volume. The units of density are kilograms per meter cubed, or grams per centimeter cubed, etc., as long as you have a mass divided by a volume. Here again is the definition in an equation form. Density is mass divided by volume. If you want to work out mass, cover up the M, and it's density times volume. And if you want to work out volume, cover up the V, and it's mass divided by density. You must learn where the letters go in there so you can generate the correct formula. In question 6, we have to find the density of a cube of length 3 centimeters and mass 135 kilograms. To find density, it is mass divided by volume. The mass is 135. Unfortunately, we're not given the volume. We're given the length of the cube. If a cube is of length 3 centimeters, its volume would be multiplying the dimensions together. Its length would be 3, its width would be 3, and its height would be 3. So its volume would be 27 centimeters cubed. And we can fill that in for V. 135 divided by 27 gives you 5, and the units would be kilograms per centimeter cubed. Kilograms because the mass was in kilograms, centimeter cubed because we worked out the volume in centimeters cubed. Then on to our last compound measure, pressure. So pressure is the amount of force applied to a given area. The units of pressure are Newton per meter squared or Newton per centimeter squared. Pressure is force divided by area. force is pressure times area, and area is force divided by pressure. Again, you must learn where the letters go in the triangle, and then you can use the triangle from there to work out any variable. Question 7, we've got a pressure of 6.25 newtons per metre squared is produced by a force of 100 newtons onto a square. Find the length of the square. We don't have any formula to find out length, so we need to go back and see what can we work out and see if it will be useful. We're given pressure and force, and if we know pressure and force, we can work out area. Area is force divided by pressure. The force is 100, the pressure is 6.25, and if you divide that, you get an area of 16. So this force is produced onto a square. The square, we've just worked out, has an area of 16. So if we want to work out its length, we need to know what number times by itself would give 16. L times L is 16. Or the length would be the square root of 16, which is 4. So the length of the square is 4, and this would be meters, because the pressure was per metre squared, so this was all relating to meters.